Testing, testing, Kerry cam. It's meant to be one of the most impressive views of Snowdonia that there is. Wow, what a way to start a walk.
Free car park, may I add.
And it really is tiny, it's so wee. To a monster much like the Loch Ness monster.
Undrunk cup of earth tea.
Hello,
Hi,
this is Kerry.
and this is Kat.
And we are Tea in Valhalla.
You join us today in sublime Snowdonia National Park, and we're going to be climbing Moel Siabod, just behind us up there.
But we're taking the scramble route.
Yes, we're scrambling up the side of it via Daear Ddu. A few different routes and paths you can take up, but yeah, I'm being brave today. I'm going to give that a go. Could be a good introduction, a good little...
It is, it's an introductory grade 1 scramble, and it's about 300 metres worth of vertical, so I think it's just over a kilometre via the scramble, yeah.
Wow, okay.
You can just see it.
The steep side there on the left.
Yeah, that's the one. You afraid yet?
I am a little bit nervous, but we'll just take it steady. It's not a race.
No, and afterwards we're hoping to go on the other side of the mountain into Capacureg and have a little look around there. It's a very interesting little area.
Yes, lots to see.
Before we head back to the car.
Yes, there might be an old slate works, Llyn, and various bits and pieces to show you along the way.
Yeah.
Possibly even the smallest church in Snowdonia.
Yeah. So the path so far has been really obvious, all the way from the car park.
Free car park, may I add.
It probably won't stay that way when we go around the Llyn, because obviously it's going to be marshy and boggy, but you just no doubt will be able to find your way easily enough.
This is a quick question for all of you hikers, walkers and ramblers out there. What apps are you guys and girls all using at the moment? Since View Ranger has departed our phone screens, what are you all finding the best hiking apps for planning, plotting and following routes on? We're currently trying Komoot.
It's just a bit of a battery killer though, so I just wondered if there's anything a bit better.
So please let us know down in the comments.
Yesterday it took my entire battery and I barely used it.
Yeah.
So, not great. Just coming up to our first Llyn.
So the Moelwynion mountain range and the Moelwynion area is renowned for being some of the wettest walking in Snowdonia. The mountains themselves carry in often streams, lots of water down them. This Llyn behind me here looks like it was potentially dammed for some of the mining slate works over the years. What a pretty little walk round though. Proper nice path underfoot as well at this point.
In fact, this is such a wet area that there's legends that stretch back centuries.
Ooh.
Relating to a monster much like the Loch Ness monster. I'm going to butcher the name now, but it's Avak or something similar to that dwell in these waters.
I love that.
Yes, river monsters and Llyn monsters.
Llyn monsters.
Llyn monsters.
Story goes the locals chained it to the bottom of the
Yes,
Llyn.
well, yeah, that's one. Well, I don't know if it was Avak, but one of the many legends is they defeated one of the monsters and chained it to the bottom of a Llyn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild swim at your own risk. So just coming away from that path, the initial walk in, and it certainly feels like you're heading into a mountainous terrain now. Lonely path, boulder fields ahead, dry stone walls. I'm hitting all the tick boxes on that mountain checklist.
You are in Wales.
We are in Snowdonia.
90% of all the slate mined was completely waste.
Wow.
Waste works. That's why you see so many giant slag piles, or they would just dump them into the water.
Proper slate path coming up to this next set of old miners' works. I think we're going to utilise these for a pit stop. I think the next sort of Llyn, and then obviously up on the Scramble we won't be able to stop and eat, so it's always nice, always wise to energise yourself on a flat point before you start to go your ascent. What an absolutely fantastic location to stop and have a cup of tea.
Yeah, do you know, sometimes I just like to have the break, even if I don't really need it. I always think, well, I'll have a break here just because it's so beautiful. Otherwise you press on, you forget just to
Stop and soak it up.
sit around it. And when you get sort of enveloped
Yeah.
by the mountain, that's always the nicest spot to stay, I think, just for a minute or two.
Definitely, and even like in and around all these ruins and things as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Just get a little taste
You
of
get a sense of the
history
feeling of the place,
of
yeah.
the mountain. Yeah. Beautiful morning.
The human history, we should say.
So you have a cheese, onion and crisp sandwiches,
That was lush.
a couple of cakes and a cup of tea.
Yeah?
Yaki da from Snowdonia.
From Snowdonia. Yeah, so we'll press on in a minute. Go around, so we just got to go through the rest of this old disused quarry. Around the Llyn. That might be a little bit, I think it's an unnamed Llyn actually.
Oh, okay.
But apparently it's quite boggy, so we will show a little bit of the actual track as well, so people get a bit of a feel of how boggy it is.
Yep.
We'll find the start of the Scramble route. Yep. So yeah.
We're just going to finish up here. Then we'll take you further up into Moel Siabod.
And I forgot to mention, apparently from the top of the mountain, you
Yeah.
can see 13 of the 14 highest peaks in Snowdonia. It's meant to be one of the most impressive views of Snowdonia that there is.
And also, I believe, or I've heard, no one actually knows what Siabod means.
Oh really?
It's ancient Welsh, ancient language.
It's so far past no one
Yeah,
can remember that
no
its
one
meaning.
can remember what it means.
Oh, that's interesting. That must be extremely deep. Obviously created via the quarrying. Wow. It is pitch black, isn't it? Ooh, that's spooky water, that.
Could be called the Mountain of 1,000 Streams. Again, evidence to the statement made earlier about it being so wet. You're constantly surrounded with a trickle of water, whether you can see it or not. And ahead of us is the ridge. We'll be scrambling up to take you to the summit. Just enjoyed the walk up from the miners' huts. Nice easy path to follow, again a wet path. Lots of water about the place. We should be bringing you up to the Llyn shortly. And then yes, we start the hard work.
Even at the very beginning of the walk around the Llyn, it is a little bit boggy. You can see there's a little bit of movement in the floor, a bit of screech. It's nothing terrible though, don't worry.
I think you can kind of see a bit of a zigzag leading you up onto the Scramble. Made it through the bogs. Bit of a tricky crossing towards the end there, which we didn't film because we were too busy trying not to fall in the mud.
Testing, Kerry cam. I've put my hair away. Kerry's got his Kerry cam on. And yeah, we're gonna get off now. Onto the ridge. So you pick your way by finding the most rubbed down and sometimes damaged rock. So this is the way we've chosen at the moment. He's doing very well. Oh God. Oh, my shortness doesn't help. Trying to get up the big rocks.
Yeah, one advantage I've got over Cat is my giant jelly
Yeah,
legs.
he just sort of steps over
And
stuff.
gobble up the ground.
Okay, well I'll pop your way because it's a bit boop. Oh. I am so short.
It's okay.
Yeah. Some of the rocks have these little scrapes in. These are actually done by micro spikes because people like using this ridge when it's icy.
When it's snowy and icy.
Yeah. Ooh. That's it, lean into that rock. Lean into it. That's the one. That's excellent. There's quite good land up here.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that bit. Just feel really unsteady.
Yeah, of course. Not too bad on this bit though, and then another little sort of climb up.
So yeah, it's got to pick our way through this boulder field now, haven't we?
Yeah. I think there's a bit more scrambling as you get a bit further up too.
Little bit hairy in a couple of places. Found myself having to sort of pull myself up.
Yeah, you do have to use a bit, but you know, apparently there is a way round.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but you know, the fun of coming up a route where you can scramble.
Yeah.
It's scrambling, isn't it? And I don't know, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Something different.
As long as you survive it.
Yeah, take your time.
Oh God, yeah. Always take your time, try and enjoy it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you find little breaks like this, it's a good idea to have a look around, take some photos and stuff, remind yourself what you're doing.
Take in some food as well if you need to.
So we're just taking a bit of a view. It is absolutely stunning. I'll just blow my nose if I'm honest as well. We've got about 125 metres of verticality to go up yet. Shouldn't take too long, maybe another 20 minutes.
20 minutes to tea.
No, I don't know. Anyway, about 20 minutes I reckon.
Nice.
We'll see.
You can't see me because I'm sat down having a breather.
Kerry is here. Let's have a look. Kerry is here.
Hello. So I'm just catching my breath, letting my legs reset a minute.
And look how beautiful it is over here. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this landscape. That's what we've just come up. Oh, you can't go wrong with it, can you, Kerry?
Can't go wrong.
Kerry's like, yeah, you can.
step.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent work. Magnificent. Oh.
I'm finding it okay, if I'm honest. My heart is racing, but there's lots of little areas I can tuck myself in and just gather my thoughts and then set off on another little burst. But it's pretty, yeah, it's quite challenging.
And that's coming from someone who has vertigo and a quite a hefty fear of heights. And yeah, I'm finding it quite nice. It is nice. Yeah, I don't have those things, but yeah, I'm finding it really stunning. And I think that, you know, you get these unusual views from these odd paths that you don't get to see often. So yeah, good fun. I'm really enjoying it, and Kerry's doing amazingly. I've got to pop you back away again now because it's sort of going up this weird corridor.
Oh, amazing. Music to my ears.
Yeah. Lovely.
Oh wow. Oh, that is not coming up where I thought it was going to come up.
No, we may have scaled off a bit. Yeah. You enjoy that, love?
That was hard, but good, yeah.
You did really well.
So we've just come up over the scramble now, up onto the summit, heading towards the trig point of Moel Siabod. Look at that for a trig point. Wow.
Fantastic.
872 metres,
this is Moel Siabod.
The tallest of all the Moelwyns.
It is, yep, and the views are incredible. They say you can see 13 of the 14 largest peaks in Snowdonia from here. These are the glidders here straight in front of us. Trifan there, we climbed them yesterday. There's Llyn and the Daear Ddu range. Over there is the whole Snowdon horseshoe with a wither herself tipped in white, absolutely beautiful. Just going to stand up here a second to get a full 360 of our views here. Believed to be some of the most expansive and beautiful views in the whole of Snowdonia. Beautiful.
So we just stopped for a cup of tea. We just tucked ourselves down behind the rocks over there for a cup of tea on the summit of Siabod. We're going to head down a different route. So there's the trig point just over my shoulder there. Very beautiful, very iconic trig point. And you have got a storm shelter just over here as well if you want to tuck yourself away on worse weather days. Just
had a lovely cup of tea on top of Siabod, taking in these ridiculously far-reaching views. Look at this behind me. Cool. Don't see stuff like that very often. It's lovely to see the sleeping dragon, the Trifan, just in the centre there. So we're going to make our way through, and the path is not very obvious from the top of Siabod, but it soon becomes more obvious. You sort of have to follow where it's sort of roughed out a bit, you see, a little bit roughed out. So we're going to pop down, we're actually going to take the carpark route down.
A bit of forestry. Another church to show you on the way down
as
well.
Yeah, it's nice. Carpark itself is lovely. Joe Brown's is there, and one of the first working class explorers and climbers. He was also an inventor. He invented lots of pieces of hardware to make climbing and walking easier. And he has a beautiful shop down in Carpark itself. little moon surface, you as soon start to see a great big path that winds all the way down, right down into that woodland. Taking the long path down now to Capel Curig, home of the Joe Brown's shop. Joe Brown is a bit of a hero of mine. He was a true working class rock climber and innovator. He designed and invented a lot of different pieces of gear to help climbers. He was also the first to climb many of the big well-known climbs such as Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world. He even managed to get some of his climbs televised, really unusual for the age. Capel Curig also home to the climbing school for obvious reasons, and a beautiful little church believed to be the smallest in Snowdonia. I always like to go and have a look at that. Actually, we pay it a visit nearly every time we come to Capel Curig. It's become a bit of a pilgrimage, I think. And just as a general area, it's very interesting, very ancient, and always worth a visit. Even if you don't fancy doing these mountains, just coming to Capel Curig and spending a bit of time in this ancient and wild spot. We've only ever walked Siabod once, and it was on this path that we did it. And at the time it was driving rain and thick fog, and we saw nothing except for a lot of water. Do you remember, Kerry?
Yeah, I kind of feel like Siabod is saying sorry to us today.
Yeah, I mean today couldn't be more perfect. And the views. Look at this. Having a lovely time, haven't we, Kerry?
Been absolutely amazing, yeah. Really loved today, and we're still not finished. So,
No, got lots to do yet.
Yeah. Don't forget all the details for today's walk, where we parked, a little description of the route, some of the information we down into the description.
Yes, check that out if you fancy it yourself and would like to know sort of where to park and things.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you are enjoying the video and you find that information useful, give it a little thumbs up. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Always appreciated. Oh, we're coming down to the first stile now. It's pretty steep, you have to be quite careful, but the path is very, very obvious, isn't it, Kerry?
It's like an old riverbed.
It is, yeah, it is. The path tends to get a little bit marshy and squidgy towards the end before you reach the forest. Kerry's already gone in a couple of times, hasn't you, love? Look at those. Look at those feet. Disgusting. Oh, he's an absolute disgrace.
The full mountain experience today. We're just coming down through this wonderful woodland into what I think is maybe a piece of forestry commission land.
Yeah.
Out towards the lakes and the activity centre down below on the main mountain pass road. So this big old building we've just walked past is a mountain sport recreation centre. All sorts of
all things mountain.
shop, eat, drink, climb and stay. So I think they do all sorts of things there, which is brilliant.
Yeah, equipment stores, all the drying rooms, training walls. Yeah, very cool. This lovely little old church, St. Julietta's, is the smallest of the old churches in Snowdonia. Probably built around 15th or 16th century, but it was built because a gentlewoman in the area, she had a very bad skin disease, and there is a holy well here, and she bathed in the waters of that holy well, and she was cured. And as a way of giving thanks to God, because she believed God had cured her, she had this church built. And it really is tiny, it's so wee. It looks no bigger than a little cottage, little fisherman's cottage. It doesn't have grand windows, But it has a huge amount of character. That's all that matters really, isn't it? I've noticed that nearly all of the stones around here are slate, just pure, unadulterated slate. Unfortunately, the door is locked. No doubt there is probably a key holder within the village somewhere. Someone who probably maintains and looks after the place. We're all a bit unfortunate that that's not open because it looks like a lot of the explanation of the history is inside there. It's the sort of thing I like, as you know. Never mind. And when it was built, it was known as Currig's Chapel. Obviously in Welsh, that is Capel Currig, and it gave rise to the name of the village itself. That gradually developed after the building of the church. In the 1880s, a much bigger church was built up the road, and that was named St Currig's Church. So from then on, this little old church was called St Julietta's Church.
Thank you so much for joining us today on what was a brilliant walk. Moel Siabod was a beautiful mountain to climb, and I really enjoyed pushing myself and doing the scramble.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, I think I've earned my dinner tonight now. Also, everything else we've seen along the way as well, you know, the Llyns and the old quarry houses, all that kind of stuff.
It was super interesting. The whole way it was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this wonderful little church behind us as well. It's so tiny. Right little slice of history. But don't forget, if you have liked today's video, if you have enjoyed joining us on this walk, thank you very much. But also, smash that like button. Drop us a comment down below if you have any questions or comments for us. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. That would be great. And until our next adventure, stay safe and well.
And keep enjoying those green spaces. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. It's also worth noting that we noticed a notice saying that at the Siabod Calf, which is on the main road in Capel Currig, you can pay a small charge to leave your car there overnight. That's lovely, isn't it?